It's about much more than just having sex and having better sex. It's about literally transforming all aspects of your being to be more present, to be more aware of what's happening in your mind and your body, to be aware of how you're affecting the world around you. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Tantric Sexuality. We could even say evolved sexuality, right? So sex is a massive part of our lives for most of us, right? I mean, the act of sex is why we are here in the first place. Sex created our bodies. Our parents had sex and, that's where you came from. I don't know if you knew this, right? But that's where we came from. And for many people, sex is really like weighing on their mind, for a large portion of their day. It's like, how am I going to get more sex? When am I going to have sex again? Will my partner have sex with me? Oh, look at these sexy girls on the internet. What kind of porn am I going to watch today? All these things. So it's there almost 24/7. But most people are completely unconscious about how their sexual energy is being expressed, what it's doing to their mind and their body and their spirit. And they don't know how to do something greater with this energy than just how to have a short-lived humping session, then ejaculate and feel, satisfied for a few hours, right? That's most people's experience of sex. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I started getting the feeling, in my early 20s that there was much, much more to sex and orgasm than what I had been experiencing. I started becoming curious about Tantra and sacred sexuality because I heard about these things, but there wasn't really that many resources for me at the time to really dive in as much as I wanted to, right? But eventually I did, find teachers to study with and really go deep into Taoist sexual practices, Tantra practices, and integrating sex into a much higher dimension of my experience. So it was no longer like just this impulse thing that I acted out every now and then when I felt like I needed to. It started to become integrated to every level of my being. And this energy, specifically this sexual energy, started to become an ally of mine rather than something that just kind of drove me to, watch porn and masturbate or to, try to get laid. It started to become this force for me to grow myself, to evolve, to create, to bring abundance into my life. It really transformed all aspects of my being when I started working consciously with this energy. And that is the potential of conscious sexuality or tantric sexuality, whatever words you want to use to describe this. And it's important to understand that tantric sexuality, sexual kung fu, sexual cultivation, it's about much more than just having sex and having better sex. It's about literally transforming all aspects of your being to be more present, to be more aware of what's happening in your mind and your body, to be aware of the emotions you're holding on to, the unconscious patterns you're acting out, to be aware of how you're affecting the world around you and how the world around you is affecting you, right? And I think sex is almost like a metaphor for a lot of these things, right? Because it's like for sex, as I said before, for most people, it's just this quick fix. It's like a drug. It's like, okay, I've got this impulse. It's very impulsive. It's very unconscious. And you do it and then it's done. It's like, okay, now I can, think about something else for a few hours and then it's the same thing all over again, right? That becomes a very depleting pattern. And often that dynamic can dry up relationships in the long term because it's like you don't really understand how to really connect with that person on a deeper level. When men ejaculate too much, they deplete their yang essence. They lose their masculine polarity and they become less animated. They like to start sitting on the couch more, watching TV, just kind of like, whatever, This is what happens, right? And it can dry up relationships. The contrast to this is a deep conscious connection with your sexual experiences, right? It's no longer just this quick fix. It's something that you really, really create space for, something that you really create intention with. Like, it's not just, okay, let's do it so we, feel good for a little bit. It's like, hey, I want to connect with you on a deep level. I want to really create deep intimacy with you. I want to be intentional with this. I want to exchange my energy with you so we can create something greater together and ride these blissful waves of universal consciousness together. It's a merging of your physicality and your spirituality because you're not just focusing on what's happening in the genitals. You start to get your whole body in the process. You start to open your heart to greater love, to greater connection. You start to open your crown to universal connection and see that there's much more to life than just, trying to address your base needs. There's much more to experience in this cosmos that we live in. And also, orgasm becomes less of a fleeting experience. For men especially, the peak orgasm, the ejaculatory orgasm, for most men, that's the only thing they ever experienced and will ever experience. It's a very short-lived, depleting, you shoot out your semen and then you're done. you have to recover. There's a refractory period. And you always want more. That's what I really started noticing when I was becoming dissatisfied with my sexual experience. It was like, I had an orgasm, I had an ejaculatory orgasm, and it felt good, but it was like, well, what now? Like, I want to feel, that intensity, that passion, that aliveness I felt right before I ejaculated, but I can't. Now I just feel, limp and tired. And so learning to open myself to other states of orgasm, to a deep state of sustained orgasm. It's less intense than the ejaculatory orgasm in the beginning, but you can sustain it for as long as you want. And you capture that energy in your body. You harness it. You capture the charge and store it in your body, exchange it with your partner, whatever. And now you have that energy to work with for the rest of your day. You've captured that orgasm and it's continuing to resonate in your body. The rest of your day, you feel lit up. I mean, maybe the rest of your week, right? You feel more creative, you feel more passionate, you feel juicy, you feel alive. It's like the lovemaking never really stops. You are now continuing to make love with the world around you in a non-sexual way. You're pouring your creativity, your passion, your love into everything that you're doing. You're creating art, you're working on projects, you're building a business, you're deepening your spiritual path. All this sexual energy starts to flow into all these things and amplifies it. It makes everything orgasmic so that you feel this blissful sense of connection beyond just what's happening in the bedroom. And this is a very sharp contrast to, how most people's sex ends is like the man ejaculates and then he feels like, oh, I kind of feel depressed and tired and now I just want to sleep. And now for the next 2 days, like I have no motivation to do anything, It's quite different than that. It's the opposite. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have an ejaculation here and there. It's fine. But when it's your only experience, your only expression of your sexual energy, it's probably going to cause depletion in the long run. And that starts to carry over into all other aspects of your life. Like I said, sex is just kind of a metaphor. It's like you start to see how shallow a lot of the other aspects of your life are. You're saying, wow, I hang out with these people, but we actually don't really have any sort of deep conversation. We just kind of get drunk and make small talk together. There's no actual deep experience there, right? We're like, wow, my career is actually really, really unfulfilling. I'm doing something I hate just to make a little bit of money. You start to become much more intentional about what you're doing with your energy. You start to become aware of what you're focusing on because what you focus on is always growing, right? And again, you start to make love to every aspect of your life. You start to create beauty in all aspects of your life. You become very passionate. You become very intentional. You become very driven to do great things. And this is all because you deepened your connection with your sexuality to what I believe it was truly meant to be, which is a multi-dimensional, transformational, orgasmic experience of life, of a constantly evolving, constantly growing, constantly transforming process of creation. So unlocking the sexual energy through this deeper aspect of sexual experience and orgasm completely transforms you, completely transforms your life. And, for me, I think that this is one of the most important things that a human being can be doing, especially at this time and age that we're in right now, where instant gratification is replacing arts like sexual kung fu that require discipline, that require motivation and daily training and practice. Yes, it's not easy to change these patterns. It's not easy to stop watching porn every day. It's not easy to stop seeking a quick ejaculatory fix every day, but with the training you put into it, with the focus, with the discipline it builds, you will become a different person. And that's what this world really needs, is people who are strong in their power, who are just in their hearts, who are compassionate, loving, intentional, and creative. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to take a deep dive into tantric sexuality, evolving your sexual experience, learning to awaken your sexual energy, clear any blocks you have that are keeping it from moving through your body so you can experience full body orgasms, non-ejaculatory orgasms, and have sex for hours, check out my 12-week course, Multi-Orgasmic Man. I'll put more information in the description of this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment below. Have a great day, my friends.